I'm Russ Green. I'm the superintendent of the Wisconsin Shipwreck Coast National Marine Sanctuary, and today we're doing an education project. We have a group of educators here. Some are going on board a research vessel in Lake Michigan, and others are working upstream to see how those two ways are connected. So we're upstream now, and teachers are learning about the fish and the monitoring that happens in the stream. This has all been conserved and rehabilitated by Ozaukee County, so it's a great example of conservation in action, and it's connected to Lake Michigan. And so we want to provide an experience for educators to kind of learn about both of these waterways and how they're connected.
So we're on Mineral Springs Creek. It may not look like a lot to you today, but we hope to show you that it is. It's a very productive stream as far as aquatic life and particularly fisheries. And we're also doing a lot of water quality. So today, logistically wise, we're going to actually split you even further. We're going to have two groups, I guess, of 4-ish. And half of you are going to work with Tina doing water quality, and then half of you are going to work with Ryan doing fisheries, and then we're going to switch.
So we are generally trying to do, like I said, baseline monitoring, but also sort of pre and post restoration monitoring. So ideally down the road, if we have enough accumulated data over time, we might be able to see some trends that our projects are actually having a positive water quality impact. We need a lot of data to really say that, but still, that's the ultimate goal there, is to try to show that. And so then within our streams, we're also monitoring at specific locations strategically. You know, we try to have monitoring sites at the top of the watershed and the bottom of the watershed, because you're going to see some differences as you go downstream. Also, you know, above and below our project sites. So if we're doing like a stream remeandering project, we're going to want to see what's going on above, and then see how things are settling out once it's exited that project area, if you will.
So we trap baby fish. A lot of our fish will spawn in the spring. They'll move upstream and spawn in the spring, and then the baby fish, once they're big enough, will float downstream to a larger body of water, in this case, you know, Lake Michigan. So Ryan and some of our staff will put out these wooden box traps sort of at the lower areas of the stream. It's like a wood frame with say screen door mesh material that allows the water to pass through, but it will collect the fish that get funneled through there. And so we'll check those larval traps every day and get a good sense of how this year's production was, what the hatch was, what sort of species assemblage we're finding. And the idea is, you know, in an ideal world, before we do the projects, we sort of have this baseline data. Say maybe we found 50 larval northern pike. After we do our project and theoretically improve the habitat, next year hopefully we find 200 or 300 northern pike. I mean, that's kind of a simplistic look, but that's kind of the general idea. And then also we do active, so that's kind of passive fishing, right? We let the fish go through the trap, hopefully we catch something. We also do more active style fisheries monitoring using electricity, and Ryan will kind of describe how that all works. We have our backpack shocker that we use on smaller streams like Mineral Springs Creek. For us to we can be really targeted and you know, hit whatever areas we want.
The battery's connected here, and I can set the voltage and things like that here. Behind me will be this, what we call the rat tail. And then in my hand I will have this probe here. So what this probe does is, when I put my finger down on here, it sends a current, and the current goes from the probe through the water and back into the rat tail to complete the circuit. And if there's any fish within that area, they get stunned. So they kind of flutter up to the surface, and then we net them. You're looking for all different types of fish, so biodiversity and yeah, and this stream usually does score pretty well. We wouldn't do it in August normally. Low water, it's the hardest to fish. We'd probably do it in spring or fall.
This grant is a great opportunity to bring together biologists and other folks that can help us and these educators learn about these important places and the importance of conserving them. and then bring that information back to the classroom to relate it to students.